Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me very well. Maik Krüger is my name. I'm a CIO on Dräxlmaier, come from BMW 3 years before I started on Dräxlmaier, and my presentation fits perfect to the presentation of Mr. Speck, because you will see some contents is absolutely perfect, parallel, organized to the topics which Mr. Speck spoke about. Okay, I have a presentation. First of all, I like to speak about the company, because I think many of you will not know Dräxlmaier, but Dräxlmaier is really a big company. We are a family-owned company. Business is in third generation. Actually, Lisa Dräxlmaier is responsible for the company. We are an automotive supplier, and we are in automotive business since more than 60 years. You see that we have a global footprint of nearly 65 sites all over the world, and we are in 20 countries all over the world. We have a lot of employees in our organization, 72,000 employees worldwide. And from the production, we are, let me say it from a production style, we are more than one company in one company. What does it mean? We're producing electrical systems. You see this on the left side on the slide. Here you see a classical harness, and harnesses was our first business of the company. Together with BMW, we developed the so-called customer-specific harness. This is in German, this is the KSK, is the kundenspezifischer Kabelbaum. That means if you drive a BMW and you see another BMW and another, you can be sure that in each BMW is another harness, because no harness is like the other. It depends on the electrical systems which you have inside. If you have an additional navigation system, whatever, then you have an additional cable in the harness. Every harness is specific. And this is one of our strengths, that we can produce such a complex electrical system like a harness. First business. Second business, here we speak more about mass production. And we produce so-called electrical components in plants and factories for cars. And this is the difference to the harness production. In harness production, we have more employers which are involved in the production. It's I spoke about 72,000 employees, and I would say more than 50,000 employees are in the mass production of the harness. And on the side of electrical components, here we have less manual work, more automatism, and so on. The third segment is the battery segment. This is a new one, it's the newest one. We produce, for instance, the batteries for the Porsche Macan. And last but not least, fourth segment is we produce interior systems. And interior systems means this is the door leather you have on the door side in your car. We produce the cockpits in the car, and so on. And these four segments, this is our responsibility. You see our customers. We have not so much customers, but we have very important customers. We produce for BMW, Daimler, Maserati, Porsche, Audi, and so on. And this means we are a premium supplier. Okay, this is Dräxlmaier. I hope you know with this slide Dräxlmaier. And now I like to speak about IT. And when I like to speak about IT, then I will not speak about only about factories. What is a factory? I like to speak about my vision of IT, and this vision is older than 20 years. As I started on BMW, I started with the first ideas to a target organization of IT. And here you see the excerpt. But first of all, let's start with the target of my vision of IT. And this is a target we started last year. We like to combine the classical IT character with the character of a supplier IT. What does it mean? I started and I introduced last year that we only have to work for topics which are approved from business. That means if you have a project, you like to start a project, you need the approval from the business. If you have a business, you get a PSP element, and then the guys can write hours on this PSP element. For me, it's very important. Yes, it's a little bit bureaucracy, but it's very important to bring in the heads. We only do topics which are relevant for the focus. Sidestep on this topic, I also introduced a target for the managers last year. It's also money, what they can get or not get. If they don't reach a target of 90% chargeability. Chargeability 90%, this is the target. We have to work like a consulting company. On the second side, I also speak about cultural values. And for me, very important is if somebody starts in my team, the person gets responsibility. I'm not a micromanager. The person gets responsibility. The person gets trust. I don't control on a micromanagement way because I lead with trust. And the communication has to be open and transparent. This is very important. And it's really absolutely equal where you work, whether you are an IT manager or an IT programmer, or you are part of the cleaning team or part of the catering team. Appreciation is absolutely important. Everybody has to do a very good job. That's why 5 core values. I like these core values. And with this target of a performance IT, the focus is that we have to increase the employee satisfaction. We have to preserve the competitiveness, this is clear. But we also like to create development paths for our IT guys in our organization. Okay, let's speak about our IT. Here you see the IT centers, and let me call that IT centers. We have 2 IT centers in Romania, in Pitești and in Timișoara. We have one in Mexico, this is in San Luis Potosí. We have a location in Gliwice, this is in Poland. We have a small location in Shenyang in China. And for the business, the headquarters is in Vilsbiburg in Munich. For me, this is also an is also an IT center. And we have also a big organization in Sousse. Sousse is on the sea in Tunisia. And we have a lot of guys in the plants. You remember we have 65 sites. That means in every site I need local support from IT. This is so-called on-site IT. They are also in a business, in my business on a budget side and also on the technical responsible. But disciplinary, the local guys are disciplinary organized with the plant leads. The size of IT means we have nearly over 930 IT guys, and I would say around 260 are in the IT on-site organization. This is the IT. And here you see a percentage on this slide, 100% for Timișoara and so on. What does it mean? That means IT centers are not IT centers like an external workbench. IT centers are part of the central organization. And that means they get responsibility for my organization. I don't throw topics to the IT center, what they have to do, what the business in Vilsbiburg doesn't like to do. They got responsibility. And that means if we change something in the network, for instance, network responsibility on Dräxlmaier, if we change something in the headquarters, whatever, then the responsibility to steer this is in Sousse, is in Tunisia. They are responsible for the whole organization. If I change something in a database, the responsibility is in Pitești. If I change something in the purchasing system, the responsibility is in Temeshwar. The idea is to balance the responsibility all over the world. And my target is not to reduce it to absolutely minimum to in Vilsbiburg or in Soos to absolutely maximum. I really like to balance all over the world. This is very important for me. Okay, this is the organization, and here you see the location and on the map. Let's go to the next slides. With starting with the strategy, first of all, I have to change the communication, because I checked when I communicate something, it's like in Germany, stille Post. It was not the same information what I started, which reached the end of the chain. And that's why I have to standardize the communication. And we started with so-called town halls one time in a month. We have a town hall, and there we inform all the IT guys all over the world, including the plants, about all actual topics. And we have also a feedback session. They can ask questions with tools, anonymous or in person, whatever. And so we generate a better communication process. But also on the hierarchy level, we have standardized the communication to infrastructure, to application, and so on. I'm regularly in the IT centers, 2 times, for instance, in Tunisia, 2 times in Mexico per year. And so I'm in a direct contact with the persons in the IT centers. It's very important, because if you like to change something, you have to be direct in contact with the employers, with the managers, and so on. Okay, this is the communication topic. I would say is clear. North Star. This is a topic I started 3 years before with a former CFO. What does it mean? That means we decided what is our planet architecture in the next years. That means, you see, this is a little bit small picture. This is the process landscape, starting with sales, then engineering, then operation, shop floor, and finance, and above the supporting functions like purchasing and so on. And for each of these processes, we implemented the planet, the standard architecture. For instance, for engineering, Siemens platform. We use Teamcenter, we use Polarion for developing. We decided against other tools. The same on the logistics side, as said, we decided to roll out S/4HANA, and also on the sales side, Salesforce. That means we have a clear planet architecture. Why do I have this? For me, it was important to have this, and also to have the approval and the commitment from the board. Because if I have an additional demand, for instance, in the sales area, they tell me, hey, I need another tool. Then I show them, hey, this tools is not fitting the planet architecture. Do you really like to go this way? Because we can do that, no problem. But then I have double operation costs, I have double maintenance costs, I have to do something additional for cybersecurity, whatever. And it's very important. It's not written in stone that I can do that, but then we decide together. And this fits perfect to the next topic. This is the focus on the essential. It's also a topic we started 3 years before. We have a project board, and in each board we pitch together with all business responsibles whether we approve a project or not. Why we do that? With the approval, I get the PSP element. The responsibles in the project can write the hours to the project, is clear. But I make also transparent, which each approved project, I need more money, I need more persons, and I can show all of my guys are chargeable. It's absolutely this transparency. I can tell them, hey, if I do that, and you approve additional set, then I need additional money, or I need additional internal guys, or we stop this topic, whatever. This is a clear process, and it's not a process only organized by IT. Together with all business functions, very important. This is a very hard process. You have to live this process, but the process lives very good. And this slide in the right corner, this means this is the daily fight of my IT guys. And this will be also the daily fight in the next years. On one side, we have the business functions, they tell us, hey, you have to be faster. We need a faster solution, whatever. That's why we have in our organization guys which are searching for new automatisms, whatever, that we are faster, that we are speedy organization. We use self-services. But on the other side, we also have to be sure that we don't increase the operation and maintenance cost to absolutely maximum. That's why we need standardization. We need rules and patterns. We need standard processes, and we need to organize demand management. And that's why we have the North Star and the focus on the essentials for pitching and demanding. So I can balancing all these topics, and we live this process. Let me repeat, this is not a vision, this is a process we live for 2 years. Next slide. And just now I come more and more to the target of factories. I started in the 90s as a programmer, and I was more than 4 years or 5 years a programmer. I really learned these topics from the scratch, with C programming nearly to assembler, with basic whatever. And so I know, like, IT guys are thinking a little bit. I hope I know that. And I think we have two groups of IT guys in our organization. One group is absolutely business oriented. They like to work in a finance topic, in an HR topic, shop floor, purchase, sales, whatever. They are absolutely business oriented. They are the classical business informatics. And these guys, for these guys, I have a home. This is our solution. This is our product. You would say it's product oriented. They are really organized in a product organization, and they are strong connected to the business. On the other side, and this is more the group I was part of in the 90s, these are the technology oriented guys. They can program, they can work with databases, they can work with operational systems, whatever. Yes, they do that for finance topics, but tomorrow they can do that for HR topics. They are not really, it's equal which business is behind. And these actually, or let me say it, 2 years before, the biggest group was here. The IT guys were strong connected to solutions, to products. And it was not possible to shift them from one product to another. It wasn't possible, because if some product had 30 guys, then you said, hey, I can't give somebody to another group because I need these guys. And for the groups which had only 2 guys, it was not possible to increase. And so I started with the chargeability, you remember, 3 or 4 slides before. And with this chargeability, I increased the pressure to have chargeable PSP elements. And so I started to bring persons from product-oriented style to more technology-oriented styles. And I will also show you the groups which we have founded here. Employees in the technical competence centers. This is what you call factory. They are work more technical oriented, classical computer science or business informatics with focus on informatics. This is the technical group, and actually we have nearly 100 persons on the right side. This is flexible. This is a flexible organization which I can bring today in this business topic and tomorrow in this business topic. That makes me independent. Organization. What does it mean on an example side? That means we have solutions, and they started with a providing budget last year for sales, for engineering, shop floor management, whatever. And this year I decreased this budget because the budget for the lights on, they have to decrease. Yes, I need some guys in these solutions, but for me it's, the best way is to have a normal budget for providing topics. And here we are on a good way. A special organization here, you see it, is an organization like Business Analytics. This is an organization which goes over all business processes, is clear. Okay, and on the so-called technical competence side, or factory side, you would call it, here we have different topics like infrastructure topics. We have a server storage group, we have a workplace service group, we have a security group, we have a service management group, a control center, and a database, and a network topic. And please don't forget, I forgot the flags. We have put this responsibility to different locations. Database responsibility is in Pitești in Romania, network in Tunisia, security is in Vilsbiburg, and server storage, for instance, is also in Romania. And on the business side, on the technical, I would say more application-connected side, we have founded the following technical competence centers: SAP Enterprise Mobile. If we program something in ABAP or with Fiori, then we still steer that from Mexico, from San Luis Potosí, for the whole world. It's equal whether we need this in China or in Tunisia, whatever. It will organized in San Luis Potosí. And they have a satellite in Tunisia. That was also a big cultural challenge, because sometimes you lead from Mexico and you have additional support from Tunisia. Sometimes you lead from Tunisia and you have a support from Mexico. This was a cultural change. This was also a cultural change to have some German guys which will organize directly to a Tunisian guy. But it works and brings people together. Okay, we have a SAP Enterprise Mobile. I told you we have a test factory. Here we organize all test topics for SAP, COBOL programming, whatever. User rights management is a separate group. RPA and process mining we spoke about in the lunch break. Data and analytics integration. Here we are put all EAI topics, all Seeburger topics, whatever, together in one group. We have an IoT group and a release test management group. Okay, this was the answer to the factories. And so I come to the end of the presentation. What are the takeaways from me for you? First of all, Dräxlmaier IT is distributed around the world and under the motto, follow the sun. Very important. IT centers are an integral part of the headquarter and not an extended workbench. Communication has to be open, transparent, regular, and inclusive. North Star as an architecture is a guideline for action and focus on business-relevant topics. Competences, I didn't told you, we collected all the competencies in a so-called competence matrix, and we refresh this every year. We have to know who is a good programmer, who is a good consultant, who is good in programming, leading factories, knowledge, who is good in German, who is good in English, French, Spain, whatever. We collected all the knowledge and refresh this regularly. We organize our IT after the strengths and topics to strengthen the strengths according to professional or technical competence. And last but not least, we enable the business with product orientation and flexible with technical competence that we reach the highest business usage. This is my last sentence for today.